How on earth did this degenerate 23-year-old kid go from literally broke as a joke with $29 to his name, earning minimum wage, working in a warehouse, in 3.5 years, get to the point where his investments literally pay for his entire living expenses and he never has to work again if he didn't want to? Is the exact question I asked myself yesterday morning when I woke up and I realized, holy shit! I could literally retire tomorrow if I wanted to. I would never have to coach a single client ever again. I would never have to write a single piece of copy ever again. I could shut down my entire CMB program, never do another DJ gig again. Nothing. I could literally watch paint dry for the next 60 years and I would be 100% financially okay. That was pretty fucking cool. And the best part, with only $200,000 invested. Now you might be thinking, yeah, Sean, that's great. Only $200,000 because money grows on trees.
Are you serious?
But seriously, if you follow the FIRE movement, conventional wisdom says you need at least $1 million invested before you get to the point where you can actually technically retire, okay? Because technically, $1 million invested in the stock market means you could, in theory, withdraw about 6% a year, aka $60,000 a year indefinitely and never run out of money.
I'm rich. Hey.
Because the stock market, typically on average for the last 50, 100 years, has returned about 7 to 8% adjusted for inflation every single year. So 200K is pretty actually ridiculous when you think about it. So I'm going to share with you exactly step by step how I did that in the course of a bit over 3 years for the low cost of free if you invest in the like button until it turns blue. It would help out my YouTube channel a lot. Also, quick disclaimer, this is not financial advice, okay? I am literally wearing an Iron Man shirt. I have a book about penises on my bookshelf, and I'm that technologically retarded that my microphone is behind me just because the lights on it look cool. I am literally a child, okay? This is entertainment purposes only. Don't take any of this video as financial advice, all right? Cool, now we got that out of the way. This video is going to be divided into 2 parts. Number 1, how did I manage to actually accumulate 200 to 300 grand worth of cash by the age of 23? And secondly, what the Sam hell am I investing in that is returning 60K a year from 200K invested? Between you and me, it's actually really only 100K that's doing the heavy lifting, but no one would believe that title on YouTube, so I had to say 200K. So I'm going to talk about the first one first for a few minutes, and then we're going to get to the good stuff towards the end. So if you want a full breakdown about how I went from literally broke as a joke working in a warehouse for minimum wage with $29 to my name, all the way through to 6-figure freelancer to 7-figure coach on the other side. Within 3 years, I actually did a separate video on that. It's about 20 minutes. Pretty informative, pretty awesome if I say so myself. You can find the link to that right there. But quick summary of that video. About 5 years ago, I dropped out of university. I was studying mechanical engineering to pursue a career in music. Now, typically what comes along with being a musician or an artist is this thing called not a lot of money. So I needed some sort of high-paying side hustle to the point where I could basically work the least amount of hours humanly possible and make the most amount of money so I could just make music all day. In 2017, I started and failed at 5 different businesses, literally everything from Forex trading to dropshipping to online casino hacking to betting on the Australian Open, everything you can imagine, okay? Until I finally came to my senses, I hired a business coach by the name of Jason Capital, who taught me the skill of copywriting, and I picked it up pretty quickly, right? I studied like crazy, I picked it up pretty quickly to the point where within a few months, I was top 3 out of 500 people or something, according to the guy who was marking the assignments or whatever, but apparently I had a natural knack for it, okay? So within just a few months after that, I was making $10,000 a month as a freelance copywriter, an amount of money which literally blew my mind. I was making at most $2,000 a month from my job, and that was like a literal incomprehensible amount of money to me. But there was one problem called I didn't really like writing copy that much, but I was pretty fucking good at getting clients, okay? To the point where I would literally have people from this program, 500 people from this program could not get clients to save their life. And they would literally reach out to me and be like, Sean, dude, how do you do it? how do you get clients? Like, tell me, I can't do it. And I'll tell them, I was like, dude, it's not that hard. Just like, be a human, be personal about it, reach out to them, get them on a call, tell them what you do, and then close them. It's not that hard. And people were literally just like, they couldn't do it to save their lives. I was just like, stop being so salesy and just be a person. Okay, it's not that hard. But I'll just tell them what to say, and they said it, and they got a client. And I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool. I just got such a kick out of it. I just found it so much more rewarding and personally fulfilling and enjoyable, to the point where I just basically transitioned into that and didn't do copywriting as a freelancer anymore. So I started helping people one-on-one and had a lot of fun with that. And I eventually compiled all of my knowledge, all of my client acquisition knowledge into a program called CMB, the Copy Millions Blueprint. You might have heard of it. I started basically selling that and coaching people. And within 30 days, that new coaching business went from 0 to 6 figures a year in 30 days, which is pretty insane. My second 6-figure business by the age of 21, it was pretty crazy. From there, I invested basically everything I was making into joining Taki Moore's mastermind, who is kind of like the coach for coaches. And he told me this thing which stuck with me forever, and it haunted me. And he basically said that it's actually easier to earn 7 figures a year than it is to earn 6 figures. And I was like, tell me more about that. Because his basic theory was like, when you're running $1 million company, you can outsource things, you can bring on team members, you can pay to run ads that do all the heavy lifting for you, and you don't have to do all this stuff yourself. And I was like, okay then, let's do it. So I invested about 30 grand to work with Taki, and sure enough, he was fucking right. And I went from 6 figures to 7 figures, hit the $1 million a year mark about exactly a year ago, and 400 clients and an insane amount of success stories later, here we are. So when you're running a 7-figure business, it's pretty easy to assume that you could at least accumulate probably 200-300 grand over the course of 2 or 3 years, provided you're not a complete idiot with money, you don't blow it all. Okay, I just blow most of it, but I still save some. So we get to the juicy part of the video, which is you're a 23-year-old kid, you have 200-300 grand in the bank. What do you do with it? And what the fuck are you invested in that is making you 60% returns a year? Because that's kind of insane. Did you just basically YOLO it all into the stock market and get super lucky, or what's the go? And the answer is kind of yeah. So last year in March 2020, where some guy in China decided to eat a bat, and consequently the stock market plummeted about 30% over the course of just a couple weeks, I decided this is a good time to get started investing, because it's basically like everything in the stock market is at a giant discount at the moment. So I first got started investing in just basic, general, broad index funds. Okay, nothing exciting. It's basically just like investing in a tiny fraction of a bunch of super successful, high-level companies. Okay, so you got your NASDAQ, the tech stocks. You have the global top 100, which is literally just the biggest top 100 companies in the world. It's a pretty much time-tested, foolproof way to invest your money into the stock market, where long-term you will be successful, and it's pretty much hands-off. So I was like, all right, I'll do that. By the way, if you live in Australia, I use CommSec Pocket. It's pretty amazing. They take $2 per transaction, and it's super, super simple to invest. That's just what I use. All right. So I decided to put in about $10,000 a month into the stock market, with my plan being that in 50 years time, I did the maths, and I was like, I will have $100 million by the time I'm 73, of which I'm going to donate 80 or 90 million of that towards charities in Zimbabwe, which are going to basically help cure world hunger and build schools and educate kids in Zimbabwe, the country I was born. Because I figured, hey, you can probably live just as well on $10 million as you can do on $100 million, right? And I just think generally, if I can leave the world better than I found it, then, I did my part, I left a good legacy, and I can say that, I did a good thing for humanity. Makes them feel good on the inside, all right? One day, my good friend, Mr. Wade Fox, came along. Wade Fox, by the way, good friend of mine. He's a multimillionaire, entrepreneur, business partners with Ray Pang, done a bunch of successful business ventures. He basically told me he just stumbled upon this platform that is generating him approximately 5% a month returns. And naturally, I was sitting there like, sorry, what? I was as skeptical as you are right now just hearing that. I was like, 5% a month? That is literally 60% a year. I was extremely skeptical. So naturally, I pulled out $50,000 from the stock market and immediately invested and gave it to Wade. And I was like, let's go, let's do this. Having no idea what I was investing in. And to my great amazement, It actually worked. I was kind of mind blown. So I started investing in this thing in March of this year, about 5 months ago. And fast forward, we are at the end of July. It has been 5 months. I have invested a total of $78,000 of my own money. And I have made from this exact app about $28,000. A couple of trades are due to close by the end of the day. So let's call it $30,000 in 5 months. Works out to be exactly $6,000 a month times 12 months is $72,000. So I'm just going to be conservative. We'll just call it $62,000 a year instead of 70. But either way, that's kind of fucking insane. Now, at this point, you're probably wondering what in the name of all that is holy can possibly return $60,000 a year from $100,000 invested 5% a month. That is ridiculous. And you're completely right. So what this is basically a Forex trading platform that Wade's friend Jake basically invented this like AI robot auto trader thing that basically does like exactly what a professional trader would do, and like scans the history of all the charts, all the fluctuations, applies like fucking Fibonacci curves and all that shit. I don't know anything about trading, okay, but can basically predict the outcome, where the trends are likely to go, in terms of various pairs of currencies, USD, Australian dollars, Great Britain pounds, euro, all that good stuff. And it essentially places trades for you on your behalf, and most of the time actually gets them right. It's kind of crazy. So just as proof that I'm not bullshitting, I'm not pulling this out of my ass, here, right there is my account, if it will come into focus. As you can see there on the screen, $106,400 in my account right now at the moment from $78,000 invested. Don't worry about the giant minus 31 grand, by the way. Every single time I check it, it is literally minus tens of thousands of dollars. At the start, I used to freak out. I was like, holy shit, I'm going to lose all my money. And it's literally been like that for 5 months. Every time I check, it's minus like 30 grand. And overnight, I check the next morning and most of the trades have closed out positive. As you can see right there, you can see the number. No, you can't. It's super blurry. I'll put it up on the screen. $589 made today alone from me doing literally nothing. It is the coolest feeling ever to wake up every morning. I check it. It's the first thing I do every day. And I'm like, how much money did I make overnight? And yeah, it's like hundreds of dollars overnight while I was literally sleeping. It's like crazy. Now at this point, you might be thinking, well, Sean, how do you know that this trading robot is not just going to start losing all its trades? Okay, the algorithm is going to get like hacked by the Russians, or this Jacob guy is just going to run away with all your money, okay, and you're going to be left with nothing, okay? This video was clickbait, dislike, unsub. Sure, the AI could start losing the trades. Sure, the market could turn upside down and I suddenly could just start losing all the trades, or Jacob could just run off to the Cayman Islands with all my money. But what's stopping the stock market from suddenly losing, 1929, where the market crashed and burned so hard that it literally took, 25 years to recover? Hashtag Great Depression. Only thing that is fully, for sure, for certain, there are 3 things that are certain in this life. And that is number 1, one day you're going to die. 2, you will pay some taxes along the way. And 3, coriander still tastes like shit. That is it. That is all that is certain. Everything else, totally speculative and up for grabs. So yeah, whilst I'm not expecting this to last forever, all I'm saying is that right now, at this current moment in time, this particular investment of literally just $100,000 is paying 5% a month, $60,000 a year, which is covering all of my living expenses. And I technically could be considered financially independent, financially free, or retired if I wanted to. As for the other $100,000 that I didn't mention, currently I have about $70,000 invested in the stock market, index funds, and about $30,000 invested in crypto as well. I store mine with BlockFi, which pays about 5% interest per year on all of your crypto. But yeah, obviously the heavy lifting is kind of coming from that 100K in the AI Forex trading robot thing. Now, before you comment in the comments below and be like, this entire video is just promotion for your product or your service or your friends, or you're just an affiliate for this Jacob guy. No, this is not my company. I'm not affiliated with Jacob in any way, okay? I coach freelance copywriters, okay? That's what I do. I'm simply sharing where I invest my money, and it so far happens to be going super well over the course of the last 5 to 6 months. If you want to learn a little bit more about Jacob, though, I'm happy to introduce you to him. Just DM me on Instagram or whatever. All my social links are in the comments. Just be warned, it is a minimum $50,000 investment. And the way it works is that they don't take any upfront fees, but they basically split the profits 50-50. So technically, this thing is actually returning 120% a year, which sounds mind-blowing to say, 10% a month, and they basically just split the profits with you 50-50. So they withdraw about 5% a month, and you can keep 5% a month. You can either withdraw it or reinvest it like I keep doing and just let it grow. But yeah, once again, not financial advice. I'm simply just sharing exactly how I got to the point where I'm at today, how I got started, how I accumulated that much money, and what I myself am investing in. If you would like, just let me know in the comments below. I'm happy to post a video in a couple weeks from now on my entire $250,000 to $300,000-ish portfolio, exactly what I'm invested in. More than happy to share all of that. But once again, this is just me personally, what I'm investing in. I'm not telling you what to do. All right. And don't worry, okay, I'm not going anywhere. Just because I could technically retire and never have to work again doesn't mean I'm just going to completely fucking drop CMB. I'm never going to send another email again. Never going to coach another client again. Okay, I'm not going to post another YouTube video ever again. I'm still here posting YouTube videos for you for free. That doesn't deserve a like and subscribe. I don't know what does. All right. On that note, this video is going for quite a while. If you have any questions about anything I mentioned in today's video, let me know in the comments below. Until then, my good looking friend, I will see you in next week's video. My name is Sean Ferres. I am the client acquisition coach for freelance copywriters and self-dubbed financially independent retiree degenerate 23-year-old kid. Until next week, I'll see you in the next video. Big love. See you soon. Love you. Bye-bye.